Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next chapter of the Pagan World Congress 2025. And we have David Moore, who's going to talk about My Religion is Love, My Practice is Pagan. I've known this gentleman for years, and it has been very interesting to see how he moves across the country, works with people, helps them with their books. He's been a master volunteer. If anything else, he's been above everything else. He's one of the great volunteers in our community. And I'm love to have his message. I think you can join it in our combination, common cause. So thank you, David, and on to you.
Thanks, Ed. It's so nice to hear your voice. I miss you, brother. We'll have to spend a little time together again soon. Hello, everybody. It's really great to be here. Um, I offered to give this presentation because actually, Ed asked me to, but I was really glad to agree because this is so dear to my heart. I have a very unusual religion, and it shouldn't be unusual. My religion is simply love. My practice is pagan, but my religion is just simply love. I'd like to talk about that because, as I said, I wish it wasn't uncommon. Let's discuss why this is relevant for everyone, how this can help us. Let's dig in a little bit to the topic and make a real study of it. There are many witches here in attendance, I'm guessing, like myself, and perhaps some may wonder how a witch like me could end up with a religion simply described as love. However, for those of you who may have such a question, I ask, how can you approach another person or in your ritual practice claim to come in perfect love and perfect trust? Doesn't it take a careful study of love and personal devotion and work to cultivate it? With that in mind, do you want to be powerful wielders of magic? Rhonda Byrne said, "The more love you give in your day-to-day life, the greater the magnetic power of love you have in the field around you, and everything you want will fall at your feet." There is no denying the power of love. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." Powerful indeed. The best defeat of any enemy. I don't consider love to be an optional consideration when we speak of religion. Not only is it the most important component of all the world's greatest religions, but it's also a measure of their truth. The Dalai Lama said, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive." I made many mistakes with personal relationships as I was developing as an adult. It took me a long time to realize the truth of this statement by Neil Strauss. Perhaps the biggest mistake I made in the past was that I believed love was about finding the right person. In reality, love is about becoming the right person. My public speaking mentor, Vin Jiang, said to a group of his students, "It may sound harsh, but if you want to get better, you have to be better." He was so right. He taught us that we had to be so good they can't ignore you. That's how he made a success of himself. And I mean a success. Anytime you collect $50,000 for a 1 hour speech, you are a successful speaker in my book. And his advice was pure gold. Work on yourself. Make your product, which is you, the best it can possibly be. So good they can't ignore it. Here's a little about me and my background. I was born into a family of Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't hold it against me. My childhood was spent doing intense study of ancient scriptures as a result and learning about ministry. By the time I was an adult, I realized that the religion of my parents could not be for me. And I was sure that it wasn't based on the truth they constantly talked about. I needed to find truth and set out on a journey that would last the rest of my life, searching for the greatest truth and right of human existence. It took me to Buddhism, and then to witchcraft, which I still hold dear. I explored the spirituality of my ancestors, which is a mix of Celtic and Germanic heritage. I took up some personal development practices, which led me to me finding self-like and finally self-love. This has been an extremely difficult journey for me, and I developed tools that worked well to accomplish these things. I've been an ordained minister since 2004, and I carry my ministerial credentials with me as I travel for work. It's enabled me to perform an impromptu wedding ceremony when someone else wasn't available on the fly, and I've been really grateful for that opportunity. My ministry, everyone's ministry has a certain focus, you know? My ministry is to sow the seeds of love everywhere I go, knowing some of them will bloom and flourish. I'd like to share something I wrote earlier this year in order to share my personal spirituality with you today. I hope to inspire good things. I called it my treatise on love, but it's brief. Many people have asked questions about what our purpose in life is. Some speculate that it must be to be happy. The nature of happiness is contentment, which is relaxed and even lazy sometimes. Contentment alone does not make the world go around. Is happiness our full purpose? If so, we don't have to do much in order to fulfill our purpose. No. Happiness is a choice we can make, surely, and it feels good, but it cannot describe our entire purpose. It's a good place to rest and to take refuge from the ills of our world, but it is not everything for us. We do have a full range of emotions. It's our birthright. We're born able to experience a full range of emotions, and they are all part of who we are. It is healthy to feel them all at appropriate times while carefully governing our actions. That can't be overstressed. Let me say that again. It is healthy to feel them all at appropriate times while carefully governing our actions. Our purpose has to be grander than merely happiness, doesn't it? Why are we here? Who are we really? What should we do? How can we improve? There is one simple answer to all of these questions: love. That is what we are at our core. We are microcosms of this universe, which is the manifest body of our creators. And at the core of the universal essence is love. We are more than just love, but love is the best part of us. Let me say that again. We are more than just love, but love is the best part of us. That's why it's so important. We can cultivate our best part, and that is what it means to be the best people that we can be. That is also the best way to be close to the best part of the divine. The divine is more than love, as is clearly reflected and borne out in nature. But the best part of divinity is love. It too is our birthright. What is it that love is able to manifest? Well, that depends on the driving force that works with love. That which inspires us to do our best good can also inspire us to our greatest evil, and it is called passion. We must not confuse love for passion. Passion is intensity of emotion, no matter what the emotion is. Passion creates and passion destroys. The divine has passion too, which is why divinity creates or destroys. We must cultivate love, which resonates with the divine love, the core essence of the divine, and thus we can be worthy of existence. It is our purpose to work at love while being our full selves. I answered my own question. It is our purpose to work at love while being our full selves. What can we do? Love is a practice, not merely a state of being or an emotion. Love is the best motivation to do anything, and it is the greatest outcome from any action. We can say that we love others or say that we love ourselves, but making that true is another effort altogether. Think of someone you truly love. Think of the people that you love the best of all, that you like the most. What qualities do they have? What things do they do that make you feel that way about them? Get a notebook, a piece of paper, and a pen. Write down those qualities. You know, my dear brother, my beloved brother, who just did a wonderful presentation during this conference, during this Congress, Dr. Louis Martinet, inspired this practice that I'd like to share. He is full of gratitude. And that's one of the things that I loved the most about him when I thought about him as one of the people I love the most. And he is. He inspired me to try to delve into and practice and learn gratitude. So every morning when I wake up, I think of 3 things that I'm truly grateful for. And my mind just naturally tends to randomize a bit and to diversify. So they're usually not the same 3 things. And I start my day by simply focusing one at a time on those 3 things I'm truly grateful for. And it has made a big difference in my personality, and it has made a big difference in the outcome of my days. Thank you so much, brother. Write down the qualities or the actions that make you love those people the most, and wait until the next day, sleep on it, and examine them one by one. Find ways to build or improve these qualities in yourself, like the way I just described. Make as many opportunities as possible to perform these actions. The responsibility to build and improve ourselves is ours alone. We are our own kingdom, our own domain that we are responsible for. Don't let your kingdom have an empty throne. Have you heard those who cry out to God to make them better people? They will still be begging for that until they die, with little result, if that is the only effort they make. It's up to you and you and you, and up to me personally. What is inside us is our own responsibility to care for and to shape into the best persons that we can be. I realized long ago that I go to bed with myself every night, wake up with myself, and live all day with myself. It's hard to be a fairly happy and loving person when you're miserable with yourself. That's why I needed to like myself and even love myself. I've been doing this practice in cycles for many years now, and it has helped me much more than any prayer ever did before. I wrote down my personal highest values, as I said. I worked to embody those values, and I enjoyed the resulting personal growth. As an example, I value honesty very highly. I've held the highest standard of truth in my personal study of religions and humanity. I value kindness and compassion. I find it easy to love those who are always gentle and kind. I recognize that I was a very passionate person. Remember that word, passion. And thusly, I had a fiery temper. And when I let it govern my actions, it was very destructive. I realized that even though honesty was of the utmost importance to me personally, I wasn't always good at being honest, or not as good as I wanted to be. I realized that human hearts are sometimes delicate, easily hurt, and that I wasn't always good at being kind or compassionate. Sometimes I was a bull in a china shop emotionally. As a result, long ago, I did not love myself. I suffered from a very long term, deep depression, and I didn't even like myself much on a good day. At a few of my lowest moments a very long time ago, you won't be surprised to hear I even felt suicidal. That is one example of when our passion faces the wrong direction. But I can honestly report to you today that I love myself now, and I'm proud of the progress that I've made. I still work at it because, as I said, we are capable of all things and all emotions, and we feel a full range of those emotions from birth onward, naturally. However, with Taoist meditation practice and intentionally cultivating love within me, I'm still on the path of improvement. I'm only sharing all of this from my heart to yours because I've been asked to do this presentation and it feels like the right thing to do to let you know why this made such a difference in my life and how it can make a great difference in yours. Many people have mentioned we live in troubled times right now and that we're having a hard time. And the best way to get through those times is to be comfortable in your own skin and happy with who you are and loving toward others. There's enough hate. There's enough argument. There's enough battling. But there's never enough love. You can never have too much. And this world could sure use more of it right now. Moving on. I don't crave attention or approval. I'm not here to make new friends and or to impress anyone. I'm here because I love you. And I hope you do too. Ultimately, I don't just do this to be able to love myself and to be healthier emotionally. I do it to be closer to the part of the divine that I treasure most, the love. That's why this is my religion, because it's the way I align with the divine and connect with the divine. It's the vehicle through which I do that, which is exactly what a religion always is, an operating system through which we can interact with the divine. I'm sharing these things from my heart to yours today, and it's my pleasure to do so. Apparently, my views and practice have been noticed by a few other people, including Ed Hubbard, and they wanted to know more. Maybe they recognize that they too need what I discovered or some part of it appeals to them. I hope so. I need it. And I think maybe we all do. Perhaps you will find more to add to what I'm offering you today. Perhaps you have some wonderful practices you can share. Nothing wrong with that. You might find another way that works best for you to arrive in the same place. Good. I'm not asking anyone to consider me or my ideas special in any way. We are all one family, and we all have the spark of the divine love in us. No one of us is any greater than another. One of my highest values, just to share one of my specific practices, is gratitude. And I did tell you what I do every morning, but I want you to think, how often during the day do you revisit such a thought if you have the same morning practice that I do? How often do you find something to be grateful for in the midst of real life? What I do is I carry that practice through my day with me. It doesn't just set a pace for the day. Every time I'm faced with anything challenging during the day or anything difficult, I think of things that I'm grateful for. Personally, I suffer from degenerative joint disease and other things, other physical ailments. So I encounter pain constantly throughout my days and nights. And it helps so much to find things to be grateful for. I was at work, I'm an electrician by day, and I was at work and I was struggling to get up a staircase because my knees and my ankles give me a lot of trouble and I have to use a lot of upper body strength with the railing to make it. And someone looked at me and said, That must be terrible. And I, surprised, looked at him and said, Terrible? It's wonderful. Do you know how many people can't possibly walk on their feet or get up these stairs? I'm so grateful that I can actually get upstairs. And I'm going to get back down safely too. And he just looked at me and he goes, Wow, that's awesome. Keep that attitude. I cultivated that attitude. I grew it from infancy. I created it with this personal private practice that I have. And I highly recommend that you think of making personal practices that make sense to you in your life to cultivate the qualities you treasure the most. Are you familiar with the scientific principle of resonance? When one glass has exactly the same amount of water as another, and the glasses are identical, place them side by side but not touching. Strike one lightly with a spoon, and the other will also sing that same note loudly. One resonates with the other. Tuning forks work the same way. Hang 100 of them tuned to the same note in a line, maybe a foot apart. Tap one, and the resonant sound would be picked up and will be amplified by the entire line. Can you imagine what that would sound like if you were at the other end? You could hear it coming. Until it's right there in your ear. Well, the more we learn to treasure the good things in us, the more we are able to treasure the good things in others. And the more we truly love each other, the more that love resonates around us and throughout humanity, exciting the divine love in others. Love spreads and helps color the actions of all of us, and it only takes one person in each crowd to begin the sound. I've found that true, pure love resonates perfectly with other people, which is proof positive that at our core, we all have divine love. Thank you. Namaste. I'm allowed a few more minutes, and I just want to tell all of you that it's a great pleasure to be here and that I've really enjoyed the other presentations that I've been able to catch. I know we all have a schedule, and I hope you can catch this afterward if you couldn't be here now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I see a chat room is open, and I'm willing to interact with anyone. Oh, Louis said, Oh, I love you too, brother. You're so special to me, and you've inspired a lot of my personal work that's made me feel like a better human being. Louis said, Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have you as a brother, Louis. He said, You get right to the heart of it. And Donald Lewis says, Thank you, David. Thank you for these comments. Brothers and sisters, every one of you are my family. I have an amazing, humongous family with billions of members. And I hope that we stop focusing so hard on all of our differences and conflicting with each other with our emotions and our actions, and pay more attention to the resonance we all have inside. The harmony is beautiful. And I see no reason why we cannot practice singing this harmony with our daily actions and our interactions with each other. My number one favorite salve for the sores that come from the negative actions of our fellow humans in this family is love. Please let your love sing out. Let it resonate with the love in the next person, and that let theirs resonate with the love in the next person. We can make a difference. Witches understand resonance very well. It's a great deal of how we do our spell work. And I'm asking all of you to consider spell work on a daily basis that makes a real difference in our family. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you feel like contacting me, the easiest way is probably to If you don't have my personal telephone number, which I don't think I should broadcast, but you're welcome to email me at David_Moore31 at yahoo.com. That's David_Moore31 at yahoo.com. Thank you. Have a fantastic day.
And thank you.